परम मंगल आज स्वागत आपका है, आइए आपका है, आइए। तरस दे पद परस का सौभाग्य प्राप्त कराइए। परम मंगल आज स्वागत आपका है, आइए आपका है, आइए। काम क्रोध अबोध जो उर से सदा भरपूर हो। काम क्रोध अबोध जो उर से सदा भरपूर हो। इनको अब जल मूल से, इनको अब जड़ मूल से कर चोर दूर उड़ाइए। परम मंगल आज स्वागत आपका है, आइए आपका है, आइए। आदि व्याधि उपाधि आदि अनादि से पीछे लगी। आदि व्याधि उपाधि आदि अनादि से पीछे लगी। सबसे प्रभु सुख खंड करी, सबसे प्रभु सुख खंड करी। स्वाचंद फंद छुड़ाइए। परम मंगल आज स्वागत आपका है, आइए आपका है, आइए। कृपा करे बहते हुए धर्मदास को भवदार से। कृपा करे बहते हुए धर्मदास को भवदार से। नात जानिया नात अब गई, नात जानिया नात अब गई। हाथ पार लगाई। परम मंगल आज स्वागत आपका है, आइए आपका है, आइए। प्रेम से बोलिए सतगुरुदेव महाराज की जय।
हरिओम। You're almost at the end, Swamiji. It went really, really quickly. The 5 days gone by. Yesterday was beautiful about bhakti and learned a lot. I just want to say this to you, Swamiji. I went to a Hindu school in India, in Delhi, and they teach you Kabir's this thing. But the idea used to be just memorize it and go and put it up on a piece of paper and get good marks. But this is after 50 years, I get to actually learn what I was putting in there and getting to know the meaning. So thank you so much for that. So today's sponsors are Kanchan Tripathi, Kishore Nadkarni, you can see them, Hira Ram Lakhan family. No, I don't see Anju and Jasmine Parekh either. Okay.
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
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 भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे
भैया राम गोविंद हरि
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
भैया राम गोविंद हरि
जप तप साधन कछु नहीं लागत
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 खर्चत नहीं गठरी
खर्चत नहीं गठरी
खर्चत नहीं गठरी भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे भैया
राम गोविंद हरि
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
राम गोविंद हरि
राम गोविंद हरि
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे
भैया राम गोविंद हरि
संतत संपत सुख के कारण,
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 जासो भूल पड़ी,
जासो भूल पड़ी,
जासो भूल पड़ी,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
राम गोविंद हरि,
राम गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया 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 राम गोविंद हरि,
कहत कबीर राम न जामुख,
कहत कबीरा राम न जामुख,
कहत कबीर राम न जामुख,
कहत कबीरा राम न जामुख,
वो मुख धूल पड़ी,
वो मुख दूर पड़ी,
वो मुख धूल पड़ी,
भजो रे भैया
राम
गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
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 भजो रे भैया 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 राम गोविंद हरि।
Kabir Sahib says, my dear, you chant the name of Ram, chant the name of Govind, worship Ram, worship Govind, chant the name. Jap tap sadhan kachu nahi lagat. For doing this, this is the easiest sadhana, and usually the easiest, simplest thing in the world is always the best. You see that the easiest, simplest drink in the world is water. Like that. The easiest, simplest thing in the world is really to tell the truth. Everything which is the easiest and simplest is the best. Easiest and simplest food also. Just to pluck some fruit from some tree and eat. So this is the easiest and simplest. It says japa, tapa, sadhana, kachu nahi lagat. We don't have to have the qualification of having done japa, having done tapa, having done any kind of sadhana, nothing. We don't need any of those qualifications to chant the name of Bhagavan. Anybody can chant. So sutantra. It is unto itself. It doesn't need anything else. Then, kharachat nahi gathari. And not only that, it doesn't cost us anything also. The chanting the name of the Lord doesn't cost. It's free. And we like free things, but when it comes to the name of the Lord, we don't like free. I don't know why. It's free. Chant the name of Bhagavan. Like that. Then, santat sampat sukha ke karan jaso bhool pari. Means to say that we forget Paramatma, we forget reality, we forget the absolute, we forget Brahman, we forget Ishvara. When we come into the world and we get children and possession, wealth, and all of that sort of thing. Santata sampat. We get our happiness from the sukha ke karan. We get our happiness from those things. And I'm telling you, the moment we get anything in this, any possession in the world like this, that time we forget Bhagavan, because we get our joy from that thing, whatever it is. So our joy is derived from that object or that thing. And here he gives the two most attractive ones. What? Offspring and wealth. Possessions. Santat sampat sukha ke karan. Jaso bhool pari. Means we forget all about Paramatma. Kahte Kabir. Naam and jam mukh. Ta mukh dhool pari. Some of the words in this one is different. But what he means, that mouth which does not spend its time chanting the name of Bhagavan, chanting the name of the Lord, that mouth gets filled with rubbish. Strong words. Means dust, dirt. The mouth that doesn't spend its time chanting the name of the Lord, that mouth gets full with dirt. And it is true, I tell you. You will hear now, even all the way up to the highest office in the land and the biggest billionaires in the land, what all foul language they speak. Correct or not? That when you're reporting on the news, you have to hear bleep. Because they speak foul and mouth only fill with dirt. That is the idea. So the mouth that is not engaged in, but does not take its time to go on chanting the name of the Lord, it gets filled with dirt like that. And all of these lines, this is a very popular bhajan in, I think, across the world. They're well known. All of these lines require long reflection. Santata sampata sukha kar and bhool. Bhool means we forget ourselves, we forget Atma, we forget Paramatma, we forget the reality. Because the delusion of the Dvandva Sansar on the outside is so strong that we forget our own self. It is an amazing thing how we batter away our own self in favor of something else like that. That is what we are psychologically doing. So, highly philosophical bhajan. Now, for today's topic. Today's topic is Naam Smaran, Bhagavat Smaran. Remembering Bhagavan, remembering the name. And Sahib goes on and on. So many countless Sakhis. I explained to you Sakhi yesterday, na? Sakhi. Yes. So many are given. Now, we'll chant Sahana Bhavatu and then we'll start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. कबीर हरि के मिलन की बात सुनी हम दो, कबीर हरि के मिलन की बात सुनी हम दो, जय कछु हरि को नाम रे, जय कर ऊंचा हो कबीरा, जय कछु हरि को नाम ले, जय कर ऊंचा हो कबीरा, जय कर ऊंचा हो कबीरा, जय कर ऊंचा हो। साहिब सर, कबीर हरि के मिलन की, to reach Hari, to reach Paramatma, to reach reality, Mat Suni Ham Doe. He said, I have only heard about two paths, two means, two ways to reach Paramatma. Mat Suni, I have heard only two ways. Doe. What is the two ways? Kai Kachu Hari ko Namale. Either I go on chanting the name of Hari, Kai Kara Uncha Hoy, or I go on doing seva for the whole of humanity. So I've heard of two paths. Either I go on chanting the name of the Lord, or I go on doing seva. Uncha kar means doing all seva, doing for others, doing for the world, give my life to the world, like that. And I work for others. So I've heard these two only. Now in that thing, all those people who come to Chinmaya mission and we study Gyan and all, none of it is there. So the idea is not that we should not get Gyan. I told you now. See, where does Gyan stand in this whole thing? Please pay attention to this. Let me explain that again and you remember. See, the basic problem of a jiva, first point, point by point, now see. The basic problem of a jiva is ignorance. Okay, we saw that already. It's just that I am ignorant of my Satchit Ananda Paramatma Nitya. I am just ignorant of that. Right? Not that I am not one with Satchitananda. I am one with Satchitananda. It's just that I am ignorant of it. So our basic and fundamental problem of every jiva is the problem of ignorance. Okay, there is first point over. Now, just like darkness only has one antidote, ignorance also only has one antidote. Darkness has one antidote, that is light. Ignorance also has one antidote, that is knowledge. Right? So if I don't get knowledge, there is not going to be the removal of ignorance. And if there is no removal of ignorance, I will never know what I am, that my nature is Satchitananda. So this is the whole simple premise of Upanishad, Vedanta. So then, why are we talking so much about bhakti then? Because bhakti is not the antidote for ignorance. So yesterday I explained to you, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells this thing very nicely in Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter. In 2 verses, he tells, if you, in short, Tesham evanukampartham ahamajnanajam tamaha nashayam atmabhavastaha jnana deepena bhasvata. If you are a good devotee, so now because all this is about devotion, chanting the name and all of that, right? We're talking about last few days. If I am a good devotee, well, Bhagavan himself will remove the darkness of ignorance with the light of knowledge from me. I myself have to make no effort for that thing. So, what is the catchphrase in all of that? If I am a good devotee. We said it simply, but that is the biggest phrase in the whole verse. I have to be, and see, Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. In the first line of those two verses, means my mind should be on Paramatma all the time. And that is what makes bhakti so difficult. So some people say, Swamiji, mind is so fickle, so chanchal, chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadra. So this fickle mind, I cannot keep it on Paramatma all the time. Better I go and study Upanishad here. Because I cannot keep this fickle mind on Bhagavan all the time. Because the catchphrase there is, I have to be a perfect devotee. You see? And then Bhagavan will give me this knowledge himself. He himself will remove the darkness of ignorance. So, here in all of this, when we see that Sahib is saying, I only know of two ways to reach Paramatma. You chant the name, or you do seva for the whole world. You do good karma, do work for humanity. And he's left out Gyan, then immediately Gyani say, oh, what is this? What about Gyan? So I'm explaining that. I just have to become a good devotee, and then Bhagavan will make sure that Gyan comes. That is the idea. Huh? नींद निशानी नीच की उठत कबीरा जा नींद निशानी नीच की कबीरा जा और रसायन चाड़ के राम रसायन ला और रसायन चाड़ के राम रसायन लाग कबीरा राम रसायन लाग कबीरा राम रसायन लाग Ram Rasayana Ram. In the Ayodhya Kand at one place, Bhagavan Shiva is telling to Parvati ji, Uma, kahau main anubhava apara. I'm telling you my own experience. Sat Hari Bhajan Jagat Sab Sapna. There is only one Sat, worship of Hari, Hari Bhajan. Baki Sab Sapna hai. It's all a dream. And in order, now see, in order for us to dream, we have to be sleeping or not. Huh? So all of it, what we are seeing in front of us, is a dream, and we are in deep sleep. Yani sha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami, Bhagavan says in Gita. But here, Sahib is telling about this sleep. Human beings are all the time sleeping. Let me tell you something. What the Shastras mean by sleep, right? You are sitting in front of me, right? I'm explaining what the Shastras mean by sleep. You are sitting in front of me. And your eyes are open, you're looking this way also. Right? But when your mind has gone away to Edmonton, even though your eyes are looking here and they're open, you are asleep to what is going on here. Correct or not? Because when you are asleep on your bed, you don't know what is going on outside. Somebody will be cooking in the kitchen, you don't know. So in the same way, when you are sitting there and you don't know what is going on here, because your mind is there, but that same thing, you are asleep. What is the difference? No difference. It's just that you don't know what is right in your vicinity, what is right in your proximity. You don't know. So if your mind has gone there and you're looking here and you don't know what is happening here, you're asleep to what is going on here. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about this sleep in the Bhagavad Gita in second end of the second chapter. We all are asleep to Paramatma. Totally asleep. That is exactly like you're sitting here with your eyes open and looking this way, but you don't know what is going on. So we are asleep to Paramatma. And the enlightened one, he is asleep to this world. He's awakened to Paramatma only. So Sahib is saying, Neenda Nishani Michiki. Now he puts it so strongly, no? This type of sleep is the sign of death. This is death itself. Well, I told you now from the first day, Sahib's words are very strong. Huh? This sleep is death itself, a sign of death, Nishani. It means to say, look here, haven't you heard, I don't know in your language where you have come from, but I have heard in our language, local language, people telling somebody who have just woken up, man, you were sleeping like you're dead. Have you heard that? We say that in our language. Sleeping like you're dead. So it means to say to the world, is totally oblivious. Totally. So when we are asleep to reality, it is like we are dead also. He says, Neend Nishani Michaki. Uthu Kabira Jag. उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई अब रैन कहाँ तू सोवत है. साहिब का भजन होगी. Musafir, the one who is traveling this world. Musafir means one who is making his sojourn through this world. And we do it all the time. Coming and going. So he says, Ut Jag. The Upanishad also tells, na? Utishta, Jagrata, Prapya Varani Bodhata in the Upanishad. Everywhere. Sahib also had to tell in the simplest of most sweet language of the village. Uthu, Kabira, Jag. You wake up because we are sleeping to reality, sleeping to. And then what to do? Aura Rasayan, Chadike. And why are we sleeping? Because we are so wonderfully drinking of the false nectar of this world. We are so wonderfully drinking of the false nectar of this world. So he says, our rasayan, chandike means dropping all this. We are drinking of this and drinking of that and drinking of all this worldly thing. Leave it. Cast it off. Then Rama rasayan lag. Drink of the nectar of Ram. So, in other words, wake up from the slumber of worldly dream and wake up into the realization of Ram and drink of that nectar. Right now we are drinking of some nectar. I told you on one of the days that every nectar that we drink here, we have to pay with a part of our life. We pay with a part of our life like that. Everything we drink. And one means every worldly enjoyment we are paying with a part of our life. And one thing leads to the other. One fellow is riding it. One fellow went to liquor store and he bought a bottle of liquor and he's coming with his motorcycle. See how the mind gets deluded. He's coming with his motorcycle and a thought came into his mind. Oh, what if while I'm riding this motorcycle, I fall? And this bottle of liquor falls. It will break. And when it breaks, I will have nothing to drink. So the best thing under these circumstances, I think, better I drink this bottle now. So he stopped his motorcycle and then he went home and he told his friends what had happened. And he said, you know, I was right. After I drank it, I fell 4 times. So this is how one foolish thought about anything in this world, one foolish thought about anything in this world leads to another and another, and then because the dream is like that, you know. One man was telling me he was dreaming. See, dream is like this, huh? He was dreaming that what? Tiger was chasing him. Tiger or bull or something. Something was chasing him in that dream. And he came to a fence. And the fence only had this big opening. So he could not fit through that opening. When the tiger was already on his heel there, he turned into a rat and ran through. How all funny things in this dream. But really, in that dream world, well, really in this world also, I'm telling, yesterday I told that in this dream world, it means, now I'm telling the world which we are experiencing is a dream world. And you cannot explain anything in this dream world. Nobody can explain anything in this dream world. We can come up with proximate explanation or some sort of explanation, but in this, and they also, how that man turned into a rat and ran through the fence? In the same way, we cannot explain anything in this world. See what is going on. One day, everybody on the flight dies except one man. Huh? Who will start to explain? And how and why? And whence? And exactly what karma and this and that, which karma led to what? Anybody can explain. And before the media could digest that and the world could digest that, then bombs start dropping in from one country to another country. And innocent people dying. So who will explain what? So Sahib is telling, Gita is telling, Upanishad is telling, everywhere is telling, wake up from this sleep and drink of the ras of Ram, rather than going on drinking of this false ras here. And any ras we drink in this, diabetes kitna, sugar kitna, huh? Any ras we drink here, that is what happens, you see. I don't know how many of you have heard this. काहे सूतल बाहो, काहे सूतल बाहो, मनवा जपले सीताराम 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 राम राम। काहे सूतल बाहो, मनवा जपले सीताराम 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 राम राम। काहे सूतल बाहो, काहे सूतल बाहो, मनवा जपले सीताराम 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 राम राम। This is an old song we used to hear as children. This is Bhojpuri. Are kahe sutal baho means why are you sleeping? Oh mind, manava japale Sitaram Ram Ram, like that. Why are you sleeping, oh mind? So become asleep to all of this worldly dream and become awakened to the ras of Ram. Ram rasayan lag. Drink that Ram ras, like that. Huh? Wake up to that. The Upanishad, the Gita also is telling. Then about this all worldly sukh. Worldly sukh. सुख के माथे शिल परे, राम हृदय से जा। सुख के माथे शिल परे, राम हृदय से जा। बलिहारी वा दुख की पल पल राम रता
बिहारी दुख की पल पल राम
रता पल पल राम रता पल पल राम रता सुख के माथे शिल परे राम हृदय से जाए. Fire on that sukha. Fire on that sukha, which falls on my head like some big stone or something and causes what? To knock out Ram from my heart. And this is what happens with worldly sukha. Worldly sukha, worldly joy, worldly enjoyment, worldly thing. When those things come. That is why at the other place you heard that, no? सुख में दुख में सुमिरन सब करे सुख में करे न कोई जो सुख में सुमिरन करे दुख काहे को होए सुख में सुमिरन सब करे सुख में करे न कोई हो सुख में सुमिरन करे दुख काहे को होए कबीर दुख काहे को होए कबीर दुख काहे को I told I am staying away from all the popular ones, but I still sang that. It's very famous. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. When people have sorrow, in their life, that time all people remember God, isn't it? Even an atheist. One atheist fellow, one lion was chasing him in a safari. And then there was a cliff like this. So he chased, and he fell over that cliff. And there was a root projecting out, and he held that root. Then he's atheist now. There's 700 feet down below. And there's lion on top, and he's atheist. Now what to do? He cannot even say, oh God. And then how long he'll hang there? So he hung on for some time, 700 feet below, and lion on top. Then he shouted, is anybody up there? Is anybody up there? He shouted like that. And he's not using God's name. Is anybody up there? Then shout. There will be no answer. Okay, God, I know I have not believed in you all my life, but I promise, if you save me, I'll believe in you from today. So when he said like that now, God said, yes, I am here. And I'll save you. Let the root go. I'll save you. He said, is anybody else up there? No Shraddha, no nothing. But I tell, even an atheist, Nastika, he also, when he gets into trouble, he remembers God. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. Sukh mein kare na koi. Now, this is what Sahib is telling him. Because when we get all the joys of this world, that time we forget Bhagavan. We go on enjoying only all the things. But when the sorrows come, we remember. So he says, Sukh ke mathe shil pade, Ram hriday. So, jai. Any sukh in this world which causes me to forget Bhagwan, or which knocks out the remembrance of Bhagwan from my heart, he said, such sukha, we cast it out. Fire on that sukha. Balihari va dukh ki. Better always is some dukha, pal pal ram ratai. Better some dukha, sorrow, which makes me remember Ram. This, when Bhagwan Sri Ram was leaving this world, he asked Kunti, what do you want me to give you before I go? Kunti said, Prabhu, you give me sorrow only. Bhagwan Shri Krishna was taken aback. Why you want sorrow? Everybody's asking for joy. You want sorrow? She said, I realize that it is in those times of sorrow in my whole life, then only I remembered you. So you give me dukh only. Like that. Same Sahib is telling. Better we have dukh that makes me remember Ram, 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 than have sukh that make me forget, which we do. Very conveniently also we forget Bhagwan Ram. It's amazing thing. So, pray for dukkha. And one more thing about these two things. People go on asking, sukha and dukkha. Please do some reflection on this. First law of the universe, no organism, whether it is a human being or ordinary jiva, ordinary amoeba, no organism evolves when the environment is conducive and when the environment is friendly. Every organism evolves when the environment puts stress on that organism. Then that organism has to evolve to meet the stress. This is the law of the universe. And by that law also, human beings also, that's why Sahib is telling, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. We don't evolve by sukha. We evolve only by dukha. And that is why Saraswati Maya is worshipped immediately after Ganesh Baba. Because why are we worshipping Bhagwan Ganesh? What are you saying? You're going to say, oh, Vignahara. You are the one who removes all obstacles. You remove all difficulties. You remove all impediments in my path. Please remove all this impediment. Remove all of this. But that is a beginner's prayer. That is a beginner's prayer. An advanced prayer is the next stage to Saraswati Maya, where I get the wisdom to know that Vighna is good for me, because by overcoming that Vighna and by dealing with that Vighna, by facing that Vighna, by really interfacing with that Vighna, I become a stronger person after that. So that is knowledge. So in the beginning, when I don't have that knowledge, I ask Bhagwan to remove that obstacle. But I should not own. See, that is like, and people do this all the time. A little child cannot make the sandwich for himself. He's only 2 years old. How will he make a sandwich? So the mother has to make a sandwich. So he's hungry. He has an obstacle in front of him. You want to remove that obstacle, what? Hunger, right? But he cannot remove it. So he needs the help of his mother. She'll make the sandwich and give it to him. But the mother comes and says, Beta, wake up. No, I don't want to. Are wake up na. You have to go to school. No, I don't want to go there. Why you don't want to go there? I don't want to go there because there nobody likes me. But that is no reason to not go. You still have to go. No. When I go there, all people say all bad things about me. I don't like to hear that also. No. But you are the principal. You have to go. Now see, if he is the principal and his mother still has to wake him up to go there, then something is wrong or not. And children come up with the best things. I tell you, one father will tell him that, boy, son, you wake up, the early bird catches the worm. That son said, Dad, that is exactly my point. You see what happened to our worm? He got up early. Look what happened to that poor fellow. Anyway, the mother has to make the sandwich and give it to the boy because he has a Vijnana which he cannot remove himself. But when he goes and reaches 6 and 7 and 8, if you are still making a sandwich for him, something is wrong. He's supposed to be making it for himself. So therefore, when we worship Bhagwan Ganesh, we should remember this. I am asking Bhagwan Ganesh to remove my obstacle, but I should not always be like that. My whole life, Bhagwan, don't bring any obstacle. Huh? Please don't bring any obstacle. Anyway, such a person will never evolve. Because it is hardship and difficulties and all of that in the environment which causes us to evolve. You see? So when we get the dukkha, we remember Bhagavan. And then when we remember Bhagavan, we evolve. That is the idea. And he says, when I keep that Ram, it's Sumirana, remembering the Lord all the time. See, this is now number 4. जब ही राम हृदय धरा भया पाप का नाश जब ही राम हृदय धरा
भया पाप का नाश
मानो चिन्हगी आग की परी पुराने घास मानो जिंदगी आग की परी पुराने घास कबीर परी पुराने घास कबीर परी पुराने घास. We have come when Arjuna asked Bhagavan Shri Krishna, you said that you taught this knowledge to Vivaswan in the beginning of the cycle. And Vivaswan taught to Manu and Manu to Ikshvaku. Mam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Ityadi. You told so many. But how could you have taught this knowledge to Vivaswan when you were born just a few years before me? And Vivaswan was there in the beginning of the cycle, beginning of Satyug. And now we are in Dwapar Yug and you were born just recently. Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, Are, you don't know. You have had countless births and I have had countless births. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna. You have had countless births and I have had countless births. The only thing is, I know all my births and you don't know what you had for breakfast yesterday. That also we forget. So, we have had all countless births. Now, let me just ask, please pay attention to this. How many births we have had? Infinite. The number is literally infinite. In the beginning of the 2nd chapter, when he's telling him there also, there was never a time when I was not. There was never a time when you were not. No, all of these king. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadhipaha. We were always there. And I keep telling you, you have to remember all of this and start thinking like a Hindu, because all of us go on thinking like Christians. In Christianity, at one time, we were not there. And there was a God who created us. And those are two different ideas, totally. So we have always been there. It is just I am there in manifest form and then unmanifest and again manifest and again unmanifest and manifest and unmanifest eternally. That's why I have infinite births. Okay. Anyway, so now In one lifetime, so the first point is I've had infinite births. In one lifetime, how many karmas do I do? Oh, well, every verb is a karma. Every verb. I look, I talk, I walk, I listen, I eat, I drink, I sleep. These are all verbs, no? I like, I hate, I worship, I curse, whatever. Every verb is a karma. So in one lifetime, how many karmas? Oh. So I think it is like a million, gazillion, Brazilian, like that. So much. Right? In one lifetime. And if we have so many karmas in one lifetime and you multiply that by infinite, what number you will get? Right. Now one more, that is first thing. Second thing, we have done infinite karmas also. Infinite karmas also mean now we have done papa karma and we have done punya karma. We have done both because you can't live in this jagat without engaging in both the things. We are engaging in both. So it as many punya karma I have there, also so many papa karma. And when am I ever going to exhaust all of them? Because when I come back in the next life to exhaust some of them, well, I create a gazillion more. So the Sahib is telling a very nice thing. Jab Ram Hriday Dhara Bhaya Paap Ka Nash. That when I keep the name of Ram, I remember Ram all the time. Then all this countless, infinite number of papa that I have done in so many countless lifetimes, all of them get destroyed. And he tells a very nice thing. Mano Chinagi Agaki Pari Purani Ghas, like a little spark that burns up dried grass. You know, a heap of dried grass here. One little spark and it burns up this dried grass. In the same way, one name of the Lord I keep inside. One remembers Ram will remove so many of these papas I have accumulated over lifetimes upon lifetime. Every time I chant that name, how many papas it removes from my great Santita storehouse of karma. So I have to go on remembering all the time that Ram. That is the idea. Eh? Smiran se sukh hot hai. Remembering the Lord. सुमिरन से सुख होत है सुमिरन से सुख होत है सुमिरन से दुख जाए सुमिरन से सुख होत है सुमिरन से दुख जाए कहे कबीर सुमिरन किए साई माही समान कहे कबीर सुमिरन किए साई माही समान साई माही समान साई माही समान Sumiran says sukh hota hai means by remembering the Lord, really sukh, only sukh can come. If we remember any other thing in this world, if you really pay attention, you will see. No. I remember, when my first child was born, oh, I was so happy. The joy will come, right? But then immediately you will remember, oh, that fellow gave me so much trouble when he was growing up, Ay. Then the same fellow you were remembering gave you joy when he was born, when he was growing up, now he gave you so much of sorrow. So you cannot remember anything of this world without also getting dukkha, because quickly you, or even if that thing only gave you sukha, you will have the sorrow of saying, oh, but it ended. Because it's antavanta, Bhagavan calls it. Antavanta. So the fact that, let us say, something you got in this world that only gave you sukha, it did not give you any dukkha, but the end of it gives you dukkha. That is natively what he describes. So it's going to be dukkha in any case, whatever it is. Antavanta, he calls it. It has beginning and an end. So now, remembering Bhagwan only is the only thing in this world which will never bring dukkha. That is the idea. Because you can't find an excuse. The mind will always find an excuse about any worldly thing, but with regard to Bhagwan. No, Swamiji. When I remember Bhagwan, then I also remember why Bhagwan made this world like this. When I get dukkha also. And then when you do like that, and again you are saying, Bhagwan made this world like this. And again you come back to Bhagwan made me. And he made this world. And he made things like this. And he made this duality. There is only a man of speaking. Bhagwan did not make anything. See, people go on asking this question. Maybe I deal with it now. I'll tell you a little bit. Why Bhagwan made it like this? Arey bhaiya, in our Sanatan Dharma, Srishtikar Bhagwan is not the one who made anything. Srishti, Sruj Dhatu in Sanskrit does not mean to create. Now, let me give you an example first, and then we'll go into this thing a little bit. If somebody asks you, why is water wet? What you will tell? Well, water is wet. What to do? Then next question, suppose. When did water start becoming wet? Who made it wet? Again, you don't, in other words, you live in a world where you see certain things are there in a certain way, and then you just have to resign to the fact that that is the way it is. Why does the sun rise in the east? That is the way. Oh, why is the sun bright? Why is the sun hot? That is the way it is. Why is light bright? In the very same way, the universe which is in front of us, that is the way it is. This is Sanatana Dharma. This is not that somebody sat one day and he decided, oh, I'm going to make it like this now, and I will put positive here, and I will put negative here, and I will have all of these people dance like Barkat. There is no such thing as Sanatana Dharma. Barkat means monkey. Sabhai na chavat, Barkat kinai. No, this is the way the universe is. And the universe has two aspects of it. This is what we call as a Sakar aspect, and there's a Nirakar aspect of the same universe. And everything in the universe participates in this truth, that it has two aspects. Like right now, I am sitting, means I am not moving, but I am also moving. The whole universe is like this. You have to do some thought, give some thought to it. Not only am I moving, see, what am I sitting or moving? You say I'm sitting, right? Not moving. Are bhai, little bit of now our science will tell you I'm moving in about 6 directions right now. I am moving in about 6 directions right now because I am sitting on an earth which is going around the sun. That is one. Then the earth is also rotating on its own axis like this. That is 2. Then it is also tilting. Correct? From northern solstice to southern solstice. That is 3. Then our sun belongs to a Milky Way. Our sun and its 9 planets, and it is going around in that Milky Way. That our Milky Way is speeding at phenomenal speed towards some unknown thing they're telling. How many directions I'm already telling? We are moving, and you told me I'm sitting, I'm not moving. But it is true also I'm not moving. So the same thing is moving and not moving. This dualistic characteristic of the universe is there in everything. So the Paramatma is Sakar and Nirakar are one and the same time. And who made it like that? No, who made it? It is like that. Like water is wet. It is like that. And that is what we call as Anadi, Ananta. Beginningless and endless. This is Sanatana Dharma. Huh? So, when we remember anything of this world, we are remembering that thing, and we will be affected by the dualistic nature of the world. The 2 things will come because the world is made up of a duality. Like that. The 2 things will come. Sumiran say sukh hota hai, Sumiran say dukh jai. But when we remember, I say Sumiran means remembering Bhagavan, remembering the reality behind the universe. When we remember that reality behind the universe, the one reality which is beyond sukha dukkha, which is beyond the pairs of opposites, gunatita, dvandvatita, all those names we have. That reality, when we remember, all dukkha goes. There is nothing but pure and see. Bhagavan Shankaracharya tells Yogarato va Yogarato Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Yogarato va Yogarato va
Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam.
Sangarto va Sangavihina
Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam.
Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chitam
Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam.
Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva
Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam.
Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva
Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam.
Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate
Govindam, Bhaj Mudhamate.
Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate
Govindam, Bhaj Mudhamate.
The one who goes beyond this duality, beyond the pairs of opposite, all sorrows go away for that person. And this happens by going on remembering that Paramatma. All dukkha will go away. Only pure ananda. Nandati, nandati, nandati. Kahe Kabir Smaran kiye sai mahi samai. That the one who remembers this Paramatma, remembers this reality, he becomes one with that reality. He and that reality become one. Brahmavid, Brahmaeva bhavati. Like that we say. Huh? He remembers that reality and becomes that reality. And what type of remembrance, what type of dedication, what type of love for that Paramatma, what type of adherence to Paramatma, remembrance of that Paramatma that we should have. He gives examples also. See how nice. सुमिरन सुमन लाए जैसे दीप पतंग
सुमिरन सुमन लाए जैसे दीप पतंग
प्राण तजे छिन एक में जरत न मोरे अंग प्राण तजे
छिन एक में जरत न मोरे अंग
जरत न मोरे अंग
जरत न मोरे अंग
Sumiran so manalaye. Remember Paramatma with such vehemence, such a strong rejection of everything else. Remember Paramatma. How like this patanga. Patanga means this moth, you know. The moth, he gets so attracted to this light, to this fire, that he plunges right into the fire, not thinking for a moment if his body will burn to ashes. But we don't plunge into Paramatma like that. So, oh, what about the children? What about, and many people, somebody was asking me, Swamiji, this real thing. What if I sit like that and I meditate and I go into samadhi and I become like Valmiki ji, and you know, an anthill comes all over me now, like that. And I do not come out for 2000 years. So he's worried about that. So therefore, he does not meditate. Wow. People have all sorts. But look here. If you really care about Bhagwan, I will do that and I will not think about the anthill or what will happen. But we think about what will happen. Oh, and not only think, he get worried now. He gets worried and he goes to, I better ask Swamiji that question, you know. He gets worried also about that thing. Something will happen. That means what? You want to come back to this world because you're worrying about this world, isn't it? We worry about the world like that. This is an amazing thing. So we have to be like this. What? I am plunging into Paramatma, whether I come back or not. That's how the moth plunges into the fire. Jaratana more anger. Whether my body burns or not, whether I come back into this world or not. See, what strong example is this given? I plunge whether I come back or not. But that type of strength means so much of strong adherence, clinging to Bhagwan. That thing is not there. Therefore, in a 1 second, he makes that decision and plunges. And he gives another example. See, next one. Very famous. सुमिरन सो मन लाए जैसे पानी सुमिरन सो मन लाए जैसे पानी प्राण तजे फल बिछुरे सत्य कबीर कई दी प्राण तजे फल बिछुरे सत्य कबीर कई दी सत्य कबीर कही दी सत्य कबीर कही दी सत्य कबीर कही दी सत्य कबीर कही दी सुमिरन सो मन लाइए. Remember Bhagwan like this. जैसे पानी mean prana taje pal bhi chure. Means to say, remember Bhagwan like this, that if the next moment I do not have an opportunity to remember Bhagwan, or I do not remember Bhagwan, I will die like a fish out of water. Now, see what a demand of the path of bhakti and sumiran. Maybe I didn't explain that word sumiran. See, in Sanskrit, the dhatu for that is smr. Smr means to remember. Smr, to remember. And from that come smarami, I remember. Smarati, he remembers, like that. And then smaranam, smaranam, from smr. But then the problem there is smr and smarami and all of these are very difficult to say Sanskrit words because you have to twist the tongue like this and like that and all. So they are very difficult to say. So now in all the regional local languages across Bharat, what they'll do, they'll take that same Sanskrit word and then they'll make some little twist and make it easy. That is all. They make it easy. So Sumiran. Sumiran. Instead of saying Smara. That's hard to say. So Sumiran. Remembering that reality. So this is how that word comes. The big word, Sahib likes this word. So all the time remember. But how to remember that if one moment I forget, I will be like a fish out of water. When that fish comes out of the water, oh, in our local Bhojpuri in Trinidad, we say pat patawe. Huh? Like that. So pranataje pal bichure means the moment he'll give up his life, because I have only means I have been taken out of the remembrance of Paramatma. This is the idea. And Kabir Sahib says this thing is true. This is true Sumiran, in other words. He gives some nice hints for those who really want to do Smaran, Sumiran. Smaran, Sumiran, same, huh? Nice hints he gives. सुमिरन सुरती लगाए के मुख के कछु न बो.
सुमिरन सुरती लगाए के मुख के कछु न बोल.
बाहर के पथ दे के अंतर के पथ को. बाहर के पथ दे के अंतर के पथ खोल कबीरा. अंतर के पथ खोल कबीरा. अंतर के पथ खोल. How nice guidance about this. Sumiran surati lagai ke. So I remember that Paramatma. I sit and I remember. See, Sahib's remembrance, Smaran, will be tantamount to what is Gyan Marg called as meditation. In Gyan Marg, because when you sit there, you remember. That's why we say, see, we also say the same exact thing in Vedanta. I'm sure all of you have said. Let me chant, you'll see. Immediately you'll know what I'm talking about. Pratas Smaram Hridi Samspuradaatmatattvam Sat Chit Sukham Paramaham Sagatim Tuyam Yat Swapna Jagara Sushuptam Avaiti Nityam Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham Bhuta Sangha. We chant or not? So the same thing. So it is the same as what we call as meditation. But he said no, and he gives that. See, if we think Sahib doesn't talk about meditation, that is not true. Listen to how he described. I'm telling he's describing in a very simple language, right? Sumiran surati lagai ke means, surati means Paramatma. So I remember Paramatma, or I meditate on Paramatma. But how do I do? He tells, Mukh ke kachu na bol. First, I have to stop talking. Because human beings like to talk, talk, talk. It means the vak indriya, I make it cease. So no talking. Then bahar ke pat deyake means all the senses that are going out, I close their door. All senses, even my ears are listening to something there, and my eyes are seeing, I close now. In other words, close the door to all the senses going out. And antar ke pat hole. And the inner eye, I open to see Paramatma, which is right there. So, close our attention to the outer world and open our attention to the inner world. That is the idea. Like that. With no talking and all that kind of thing. Otherwise, at another place he was telling, if I sit down to do japa, mala to kar mein phire, जीव में नाम और मनवा चहुदिशी फिरे, सो तो सुमिरन nahi. So it should not be going everybody, mind going here and there, and close it and stay inside. That is the idea. Huh? All right. And like this, he says, so many countless, like remembering the Lord, the Paramatma, like remembrance of Paramatma, so many countless have crossed over this sansar, he tells. राम नाम को सुमिरता उधरे पतित अनेक,
राम नाम को सुमिरता उधरे पतित अनेक,
कबीर नहीं चाड़िए राम नाम की पे, कबीर नहीं चाड़िए राम नाम नहीं पे, राम नाम नहीं पे, राम नाम नहीं पे। Ram Nama ko sumirata. Go on remembering Ram. Remember the name of Ram. Go on remembering. And to this name, Udhare Patita Anek. This remembrance of the name of Ram has lifted out countless people from this sansar. The name. So Siddhaji says same thing, see this thing. All our saints are telling same thing. राम एक तापसती तारी, नाम कोटि खल कुमति सुधारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
राम एक तापसती तारी,
श्री राम जय जय राम,
नाम कोटि खल कुमति सुधारी,
श्री राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। राम एक तापसत्य तारी, that when he was alive, he crossed one ahalya over sansar by touching like this with his foot. Naam koti khal kumati sudhari, but his name has crossed over countless kumati also. Ignorant. And Sahib is telling very nicely, Udhare patita anek. The name, remembrance of the name of Paramatma has lifted countless out of this sansar. Kabir, nahi chahiye. I resolve that I will not leave this name of Bhagwan. Remembrance of the name of Bhagwan. Rama Nama ki take. I will not leave like that. I have to go on. And come what may, hell or high sea, go on chanting the name of Ram. Okay. All right. I think this is the last one I have here. But I have left the last topic for the last day. Tomorrow we will do Ekatvam. Oneness. And Sahib gives so many verses. There are so many verses to choose from. Ekatvam. And that will be our last topic. Now, those are not the only topics that he talks about. Huh? There is no end. Every conceivable topic that you can think about, verses will be there. Huh? All right. Okay. So you all may have been given an envelope like this wherever you're sitting. And if you have not gotten one, don't worry, we will give you one. Okay, so this is called as a Guru Dakshina envelope. So what is Guru Dakshina? See, in the Sanatana Dharma tradition, when we receive knowledge from a teacher, by rule, when we receive knowledge from a teacher, we are bound by Shastra tradition to give some Guru Dakshina. Puja Gurudev revived this in Chinmaya mission many, many years ago with one difference or one change. Even though that is by rule in Chinmaya mission, that has been made optional by Gurudev. And if you like this work which this mission is doing, and you think that this work should go on, and you want to promote this work and all that kind of thing, then you can give. In fact, it is better only if you like the work that you give. If you don't like this work, then please don't give. If you like this work only and you want to see this thing happen, then you give. Because if you don't like and you go on saying, grudgingly, you tell, man, that Swamiji gave that envelope again, Now I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll not come tomorrow. Or some such thing. And then when you come now, and and you try to avoid seeing that Swamiji, and when you go to Walmart where you don't expect him, there only you'll see him. No, anyway, so you should like the work which the Chinmaya mission is doing across this whole globe from so many places. And those of you who know now, Chinmaya mission is all the way in Guyana. If you're traveling there, if you're going to St. Martin, Chinmaya mission is there also. In this area, part of the world, expanding all the time. So now, like that, mission is doing so much work. Now, where to the Chinmaya mission doesn't have businesses. We don't have own malls and have big business and own apartment buildings and all that kind of thing, where we'll get money to run such a vast worldwide organization. You see? So it comes from donations like these, and it is tagged to Guru Dakshina, which we have made optional in the mission. Huh? All right. So if you like that work which is going on, please do give. And there's place for you to put your information here so we can tell you when we have future programs and all things which are going on. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Swamiji. The 90 minutes really went by really fast and quick. And it doesn't end here, by the way. Those of you who have stayed back at that about 9:30 or so, Swamiji finishes the Bhiksha and then he joins us for Q's and A's. And then we go on till about 10:15 or so. So it's very interactive. The questions you want to ask him, you can do that. So it's been really fulfilling for the last 5 days. We learned a lot from those interactions. Just to remind everybody that we do have tomorrow morning workshop in Pal Vihar East is hosting in Scarborough. The topic is cultivating Vedantic values in an age of instant gratification. So that's for tomorrow morning from 10 to 12. And then we finish our Yajna here same time tomorrow on Saturday. I also want to thank the Kabir Association and their bhajans. Big round of applause for them, for the beautiful bhajans we have at this very start. So thank you very much for coming and getting us going for sure. And I also want to thank everybody who has prepared the pictures and the Preeti Bhoj for us to enjoy. So do take part. We have a lot of food left over. So after the Aarti is done, please join us in the dining room. So with that, I think I'm going to pass it back to Swamiji for the Aarti.
Okay. Let us all stand for Aarti. आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की। आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाए। शरणागति की भ्रांति मिटाए। पाप ताप संताप हरण की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया। धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया। शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। सिद्ध बाली की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे। भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव। 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 ओम गुरुदेव
जय गुरुदेव ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव
ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव
ओम गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव
ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम बोले सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय कबीर साहेब की जय श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय नमः पार्वती पते हर हर